Today's going to be the final chapter in my whole garlic process. Today I'm going out to the garden and I am going to be harvesting all of my garlic. It's been a really dry summer and I find the garlic's not drying the way it usually does. Usually it dries from the bottom and kind of works its way up. When it's about 2/3 dry, then you harvest, but I find the tips of them are getting a little bit yellow, and so I don't want to wait too long. I want to make sure that that I get the best quality of garlic that I can. So let's head over to the garden and start harvesting. When you harvest your garlic, you want to make sure that you take either a shovel or I use an edger and loosen the soil before pulling the garlic. You don't want to just grab it by the leaves and pull because you risk damaging it. And as well, you want to make sure that you insert the shovel or the tool that you're using far enough as to not damage the garlic. So you just work your way through your garden, loosening the soil and then pulling the garlic until you have it all harvested and pulled. It's 7 o'clock at night. It's 31 degrees Celsius, an absolutely beautiful evening. Just finished harvesting my garlic, so I just pulled them all. I'm going to let them just dry out a little bit longer. I'm going to put them in my little cart here, bring them over to the garage, and I'm going to let them dry a couple days here in the cart out of the sun. You got to be really careful with newly harvested garlic because the skin is really tender and you don't want to damage them. So when that is done, then I'll tie them up in bundles and hang them, and basically, honestly, forget them there until September. I let them dry really well before I bring them inside, so you got to be really careful. I don't even cut the roots off yet or cut the tops off yet. I just let them get really dry. So I'm going to load them in my cart and bring them over to the shed to dry out some more. So these garlic have been drying in the garage for about 2 days. It's literally been 2 days. So what I'm going to do, as you can see, they're already starting to dry out, which is great. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to tie them up in bundles. I usually put like 10 to 12 bulbs per bundle, trying to stagger them a little bit just so they dry well. And then what I do is I tie them together. I just take any piece of string, because you want them tight, because when it dries out, they kind of shrink a little bit again. So you want to make sure that they stay. And I just create a loop at the other end so I can hook this on a nail so they hang. And there you go. That's all I do, and I hang them. I forget them there, literally, I leave them there for about at least a month. You really want this to get very dry, otherwise they won't keep as well. In about a month's time, what I'm going to do is then I will take each individual bulb, I'll cut this root off, and then I'll cut the garlic off the stem, leave a little bit of a stem. Sometimes a couple of layers of skin are dry, so I'll take off one or two layers, but I try not to remove them all. You don't want to remove too much of the skin because that helps protect your garlic as well throughout the winter and helps it stay nice. So I'll just remove whatever's like really dry and flaky on top, like I just did there, and you'll see like you'll have a nice, I know they don't look too good right now. You'll have a nice clean bulb of garlic. Once they're all really dry, you'll be able to very easily remove the discolored skin on the top. So I know there's some people who actually leave them just all tied up like this, hanging all the time, all winter. I don't. I just cut them off and preserve them in a basket in my cupboard, away from direct sunlight, and it's cool and it's dry, and I don't put them in my basement because I find it would be too humid. As well, what I do when they're stored in the garage, if it gets too warm, if we have like really, really warm days, what I will do is just kind of walk by the garage and open the door just to make sure that they're getting some air, but I don't, I just make sure that they're not in direct sunlight. So just so some air can get in there, and I'll close the door again at night, so I'll just let the garage air out somewhat. So I just need to keep doing this until I get through my entire cart of garlic here, and that's it. I hope you liked this series that I did on garlic, on how I plant it in the fall, how I grow it throughout the summer, and how I harvest it and preserve it and keep it over winter. It's been really fun to do and to show you. So if you do like the content of this video, don't be shy. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell and give it a big thumbs up. But for now, I need to get back to this garlic. I need to tie all of this and hang it and forget it for the summer. But be sure to check back again soon to see what other content I'll have coming out.